Life is beautiful, guys. Welcome to round number 9 and last game of the Vigevano tournament. In this round, I played an insane game, and there is a super, extremely insane comeback. So you have to see the comeback because happen also things that normally don't happen when you play chess. And I have to tell you because it's insane. I was white, I was playing against a low rated opponent, just 1601, but he played super well. I played d4 and he decided to play 6, c4, and he played f5. To be honest, I was so close to play e4 like the last time that I played, and where I won in just 8 moves, but I didn't want to play a so complicated game again, and I decided just to play knight c3. Knight f6, bishop g5, pinning the knight, and he played the bishop on b4, pinning my knight. So the knight cannot be moved from here. But in this position, I decided to play a3. It took I2 with my pawn. I have double pawns, but it's not so bad in this position. And he decided to play h6. I was forced to take because, for example, go back is not so good because it can trap my bishop pretty well. Or I go back on d2 or c1, but was not a good move and a move that I considered during the game, or I needed to take. So I decided to play bishop take f6. Queen take f6, and I decided to play g3 because one of the few things that I know how to play against the Dutch is playing the fianchetto. I don't usually play the fianchetto, but for this time I said, okay, let's go, let's try to do that. E castle, I decided to play knight h3 first because I have several idea and strange ideas to be honest. Okay, my next move was bishop g2, but I could jump on f4 with the knight, so that's why I played the knight h3. He decided to play first of all knight c6, not for a specific reason because it couldn't attack anything, so was a normal developing move, and that's why I played my bishop on g2. He played b6, and I said, oof, super good diagonal for my bishop in this situation. I maybe can push the pawn immediately. But if I push the pawn immediately, he can take, and that's a super bad mistake and super bad position. So that's why I decided to castle first. He played the rook on b8, so my bishop was not controlling the full diagonal, and especially the a8 square where the rook was before. So I played d5 anyway. I said, okay, he can take, but I'm attacking the knight, so he need to do something. He played the knight on a5, and I played the queen on d4 because my plan was trading the queens. He played d5, probably the most natural and normal move in this situation that I didn't consider it, to be honest, during the game. I don't know why I didn't consider it the only and easy move that black can play in this position. But I said, okay, let's try to do something again. So I go back on d1. He took my pawn, but pawn was double. So I said, okay, who cares? Just one pawn. We need to attack. I don't know why I could replace my knight because my knight was completely out of the game. Bishop is not so strong right now because if, for example, play e4, this bishop is not so good. So I played queen a4 because my plan was attacking the knight and attacking also the a7 pawn, but yet a normal move in this position. Knight a5, defending the pawn and defending also the knight. So I played f4, he pushed the pawn, obviously move, and I played the rook on c1 because I said, okay, I need to defend the pawn because pawn was under attack from my opponent queen. So I just played that move. He played d6 because he wanted also to develop the bishop, probably here, not right now, of course, because I could just take, but maybe in the future he could develop the knight, the bishop on d7. I decided to play a sophisticated line. I played knight f2 because my plan was playing g4, attacking this pawn and or that pawn too. And he played bishop a6, attacking this pawn, so I needed to defend the pawn. I had different plans. I could play just c4 because if he takes, I can take with the rook, and we trade a rook and a pawn for 2 pieces, so probably equal. But I played the most obvious moves in this position, rook e1, because I had also just 2 minutes. My opponent had 11 minutes, as you can see, but let's see what's happened in few moves. I was completely losing. Out you can see, because was 3+1 for black. He played bishop c4, and I said, why played bishop c4? He probably wants also to play the bishop pawn b3, trying to trap my queen. And I played g4. I played g6, I decided to take, he took back, and I played the queen on d7. I had no plans. I said, okay, if he probably played this move, game can be close to be over, because I need to go back. I cannot take the, or control also the rank, so super bad situation. He played the queen on f7, not the rook, the queen on f7. I didn't want to trade because I said, okay, if I trade, he will probably win because he was playing totally better than me. And I decided to go back on e4. He played king h7. I don't know why he played the king on h7. Probably his plan was moving the rook on g8, attacking the g file. Probably was that a plan. And for the same reason, I played king h1, rook g8, and rook g1, of course. Bishop take e2, and I said, okay, then that's horrible. I didn't calculate it just because I had just 1 minute and a half. This move, because if he take, I could take the bishop back, and position could be equal. Could be equal. But unfortunately, I didn't calculate it move, and I just played the rook on e1. Another normal move for him could be rook take g2, sacrificing the rook, because after this and this he can play the bishop on f3, and everything could be fine for him, also because he simplified the position. But he decided to play a different move. He played the queen on h5, and as you can see, that's a clear mistake. For the same reason that I told you before, knight takes e4, pawn takes, and queen take. And in this position, black need to be careful, because I'm also trying to attack the opponent king. Anyway, I didn't took, unfortunately. I was just focused on different plans, also because the previous move that I played, I moved and I pressed the clock when I had 16 seconds. I played the queen on d4, bishop f3, pinning the bishop, and now, as you can see, bishop is completely under attack from my opponent. And here I decided to play the insane comeback that I told you. Knight takes e4. Normal move here was pawn takes. Pawn takes was completely easy for black, but he played the worst move. He had 3 minutes, he didn't calculate it well, and he decided to take with the bishop. And in this position, I sacrificed my rook. He couldn't take, because if I take, bishop takes e4, and now, as you can see, he need to play something like this, and I can play rook take, and everything can be fine for me, and life can be beautiful. He decided to play the rook on g7, and here I played the brilliant move. I played queen takes g7. And in this position, guys, my opponent said checkmate. But it's not checkmate, because he could take with the king. I was so close to say yes, but my opponent realized that was not mate. So he took the queen. But in this position, he needed to play extremely well, because I played the bishop on f3, discovered check, and attacking the queen, so I could take the queen easily. And for that reason, he go back on g6. I played rook on e7, and here my opponent played not the only move that saved him, king f8, because after take, as you can see, it's an equal position, but he decided to play the worst move ever. King on f6. And now I took the queen super easily, because I just played rook e6, king back, and after, rook take the queen. He resigned. So I was extremely lucky on this game, because I played not so good. I played an insane endgame, but not so good middle game. Guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing the video. I also hope you enjoyed seeing all the videos, all the games that I played in this tournament. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share the video and to follow the channel. See you on next video.